What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Brian.
Today we're talking about bourbons and bottles that we are looking for in the year 2025. We're coming off a really good year of 2024. There were some phenomenal releases, particularly in rye whiskey, particularly, with some special limited releases. And hopefully 2025 is going to be the same. And really, by all indications, if you're on Instagram following Coming Whiskey or reading any blogs or watching any of our news videos, we talk about new releases.
Right. A lot of new stuff coming out, and bottles that you're always going to want to have. But then my thought on this subject is that there's been a shift, not just there in the last year, but in the last few years, a shift in whiskey that the prices have really shot up. Mm-hmm. And we're a budget conscious channel, and a lot of times that's what comes into play with what bottles I'm going to be pursuing, and which ones I'm not going to pursue. Right. But there's always some staples that every year I'm going to pursue them just because I know they're good, they're solid, and it meets my profile. Yeah. But then there's others that you just got to let them go. Yeah. And I don't think now. There may be a time that we get back to where we can do that. Mm-hmm. But right now, like I said, it's New Year's,
slim pickings,
and we're resetting our budget for the year and kind of looking at different things, and we got to figure out what we want to do. So
only so many bottles released, and there's a ton of buyers. So let's get right to it, though, Brian. What's number one for you? Not number one, and for me, these aren't in like my order of preference. I don't know if you've.
Right, no, I don't have any type of order.
But I'll let you get started.
Yeah, so my two that I'm always looking for, and I always want the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and the Larceny. I'm going to put that in the same, kind of group those two together. Larceny Barrel Proof, they come out at the same time. One's being released right now. Typically doesn't hit in our area until February, March timeframe, but it's on the schedule for, obviously, because it's the first of the year when it goes out. So the A125 should be coming out soon, and then the 525, and then your 925. Yeah. And those are just so good, and the price is affordable for an allocated bourbon. It's semi-allocated. Mm-hmm. It's not as hard as some of the other ones.
Yeah, you should be able to find it.
You should be able to find it if you want it, and you're going to find it around $70, give or take $10 one way or the other. So that's always like each year, and my goal this year is to get all 6 of them. Yeah. And if we do that, hopefully we do. I've never done it, actually. I try, and I still end up passing or not getting
it doesn't fit right with where you're at on your budget and everything. Yeah, totally get that. For me, Stag's always one that I'm looking for now. That normally doesn't happen because I've only got 2 bottles. But last year I got lucky, got one in the middle of the summer. I will not overpay for them. A little bit. Probably $100. I guess I would give for a
Stag. That'd be about my stopping range.
But
most stores, you're going to see it, and we're probably not going to get that.
$200
or going to be
whatever
$200 plus dollars.
I'm not really a big secondary guy, but always looking for a Stag, and if I can get my hands on one, cool. If not, that's okay too. Stag kind of won my bourbon of the year in 2024, and then it didn't. So, but always want to look for it.
Yeah. So okay. And then kind of next up would be so I missed out on this one last year, the Old Forester 1924.
Okay.
So I do want to try that, and I do want to get a bottle of it. I was upset with the price of it initially. Mm-hmm. It was $119. It stayed $119 again this year, so that price did not go up. Mm-hmm. So when it comes out soon. Yeah. So I'm hoping if I get an opportunity to buy that one, I am going to buy that one this year.
And you're a big Old Forester.
Yeah, I love Old Forester. So, and kind of in that same family, King of Kentucky. That's always the cream of the crop. Right. That's if I can get a bottle of that for retail, whatever they call retail, I'm gonna pay it. Yeah. So I think it's $350 now. Yeah. When I bought mine, it was $299, I believe, $315 with tax and all that. But just having it and hearing what you hear about it every year, that's going to be one that I'm always going to get if I have an opportunity. But
cool.
They don't come by very often.
Yeah, that's for sure. Next up for me is going to be Maker's Mark, and there's multiple bottles from Maker's Mark that I would like to get. Cellar aged, I don't know. The price is pretty high. They're hard to come by. I don't know if I necessarily will seek that one out per se. Mm-hmm. But the wood finishing series, in 2024 they came out with a heart release, and I really, really liked that bottle. So I'd like to see how they move into that. But one that I found on Coming Whiskey and 2024 is they are going to release an American wheat whiskey. And I would love to try that. And these are new mash bills from Maker's Mark. I don't know if they've ever done different mash bills, but I've got the label here that I'm going to refer to really quickly. So the mash bill is 61% soft red winter wheat, 20% malted soft red winter wheat, 19% malted barley. It's 106.5 proof. And this is grains harvested, distilled, and barreled in the fall of 2016 and fall of 2017. So that would be like an 8-year age statement if they were going to do that. So I think that would be really cool to try that mash bill out of Maker's Mark. So I don't know if that's going to be distillery only, or and I'm sure the price is going to be crazy on it. But for now,
maybe it won't be too bad. So.
It's Maker's Mark, limited release.
Yeah. So the next one is kind of from the craft distilleries. Mm-hmm. So Chattanooga, their founders, and they're bottled in bond. Probably even group in Hard Truth. So Hard Truth puts out some really good offerings. They're a little higher. Yeah. Chattanooga's in that 70, 55 to 70, so it's a little bit more budget friendly. Hard Truth's getting up to $95. Still buy. Yeah. But I'm not going to buy every offering that they put out there.
Yeah, be selective with them.
I'm going to be selective on those, but those will be ones that I will get, ones that they put out just because they've been so good recently.
Yeah. One that I found that I know we're not going to find, and I don't know what makes this different, Colonel E.H. Taylor, there's something called the Distillers Council. It's 100 proof, bottled in bond. I don't know what makes this different from just their small batch or whatever, but that apparently is going to come out this year. I think that would be kind of cool to have. I like by and large, I like E.H. Taylor products. Me too. So really like the barrel proof and the single barrel stuff. I've never had anything else from them, but other than that small batch. But I think it'd be cool to track one of those now, or at least see one. But probably not gonna get it. It was also like a straight rye.
Right. Well, and then every year your antique collection. Obviously, everybody wants a bottle of that, but I want a bottle of that at retail. I don't want to pay secondary prices. I don't want to pay low secondary prices that liquor stores are asking. I don't think. Not that I want a state to go to ABC type stores where it's ran by the state. Yeah. But I also don't think that liquor stores should be gouging us. Right. I think we need to work together. Mm-hmm. We're here buying your stuff all year long. Mm-hmm. When you get that good allocated bottle, take care of the people that take care of you. Yeah. So that's where I anything at retail, and this is kind of where I want to switch back on a lot of products out there. If it's at the suggested retail price and it's at a reasonable range, I'll probably buy it. Right. But if it's marked up to a point where I don't feel comfortable with it, then I'm going to back off. So a lot of these buys, these are the main ones that I'm kind of hunting. Yeah. But there'll be others that come along. There'll be new ones that will be like, I didn't hear that. I didn't know that was coming out. Right. We'll buy it. Yeah.
On that subject, you can kind of tell when a liquor store is charging a fair price, that they're trying to, make their money and make up for a few other things, and then whenever they're just trying to cash in. Right. Because a lot of times some of those liquor store prices, especially the small independent stores, it's hard for them because they've got to buy. For instance, Sazerac is the one that's really, really difficult, I think, to deal with on this. You've got to buy so much Fireball or so much Wheatley vodka, and then you'll get a case of whatever it is. Right.
And if you got to offset that,
by charging $20, $25 above, reach out, because I think Vicks, I'll just throw Vicks. That's where I shop a lot of time. I think his E.H. Taylor small batches are usually $70, $80. That's higher than what I want to pay for it, but I don't know what he had to do to get that bottle
within the range.
And we don't get it that often. So, but that's not that's a lot of stores will charge $150 for that. Right. So.
Right. Yeah.
There's a balance.
Yeah. $10 to $20 is one thing. $100 to $200 to $300 is a difference.
So the difference between somebody who's trying to make a business
Yeah,
conscious decision,
so
and then somebody who's trying to rip you off.
Yeah, so hopefully there's be a switch in the industry where we'll see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, maybe it'll lax up.
Kind of lighten up a little bit and
Yeah.
just realize, hey, there's people out there that buy these bottles.
Right.
But we don't want to pay it on our leg for them. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, big Jack Daniels fan, and I know this is on your list too, Brian, but apparently a Jack 14 is going to come out. I would still like to get a 12, but
I still like to get a 10.
I sure would settle for 14 if it came out.
Yeah, any of them, 10,
Yeah,
12,
any-
14, whatever.
I think I have batch 3 of the 10 year. If the batch 4 comes out, I'd like to find that one. So
Yeah, it just does not hit in our area. Just
Never.
never see it.
never see it.
But yeah,
It's not even marked up.
Yeah,
You know?
you can get it at a good price, but just I never see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I would love to get any of those bottles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
big Jack Daniels fans here. So, all right. I think New Riff. Some of they're always. It seems like they're always putting something out. What's their? I would like to see if they come off the heels of that 8-year product.
Right,
if there's another age statement to it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what their plan is. I need to probably look at their website and see if they've got something in mind. Maybe if it's a 9-year or if they're going to wait for the 10-year.
Yeah. And then is Silver Grove, is that a limited release? Is that?
Yeah, that's a limited release, but it's at the distillery only.
Okay.
And it's man, they make all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. Their malted stuff. They just have all kinds of good offerings. They're knocking it out of the park too.
Right.
So.
And an honorable mention for me too, because I don't know the plans. The ones that we have discussed, by and large, we know that they're coming out. I don't know if Beam is going to continue the high age statement and cask strength offering from Old Overholt rye whiskey, but if they do, they did a 10 in 2023 and an 11 last year. I don't know if they're going to do a 12 this year or go back to 10 or whatever it is. I would like a bottle of that because I like both of those.
I would too. Very good point.
All right. Well, let us know, what are you going to be hunting this year in bourbon or in whiskey? Let us know what's at the top of your list and things that you and your friends are going to be going out and trying to find. But the most important thing is, if you do track down one of those rare or allocated bottles, always share it with your friends. That's what our mantra is here, and we're going to continue that here in 2025. So when you're with your family and your friends, always share your whiskey.